voice you heard praising the president, that was not a Fox News Channel guest. That was Dana Bash, I believe, from CNN. There are many, many examples of unity. Even Governor Andrew Cuomo and President Trump have been praising each other after a rocky start to the response to coronavirus. You may not have that right now in your heart, but I do. I am very, very relieved that we're seeing Americans come together to fight this thing as a on a unified front. It's starting to feel a little bit like after 9/11. That feeling was pretty immediate in having been through 9/11 in New York City, sitting in the Empire State Building with a frightened staff, kind of fleeing Manhattan for my home on Long Island, broadcasting from my home there, like I'm doing today. Today's the first day that we are beginning our broadcasting from my kitchen. And we got everything working. We got some string, we got some duct tape. Poor Eric Hansen has more gray hair of what's left on his head. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do this from home because to me it doesn't make any sense not to. This show, we technologically you can broadcast anywhere now. Radio is different than it used to be. Now you have an internet connection, a box, a couple of monitors, and you can set up in your kitchen like I'm doing right now. So to me, it's smart to work from home if you can. And as far as people who can't, well, we're going to see what happens with this economic stimulus because the president is promising that help is on the way. I have a big stack of breaking news items to conduct, to share with you. It's our responsibility to get you as much information as we can. As the man says at the top of every hour, clarity, consistency, calm. A little later this hour, we are scheduled to interview Dr. Anthony Fauci himself. Hoping that, who knows, with all that's breaking. But I do believe that Dr. Fauci thinks it's important to get in front of as many people as he can and give as much information as he can. We are scheduled in about a half hour from now to talk to Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is the director, of course, of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. He has advised 6 American presidents on domestic global health issues, and of course our whole country is being rocked right now. Over 6,400 confirmed cases to the moment in the United States. 114 deaths have been reported. The virus is now officially in all 50 states. There for a while, I guess it was it Alabama and I forget, Kansas or something. There were 2 states that seemed to be away from it. Now every state has confirmed cases. The White House and Congress are scrambling to put together a massive stimulus package. This is a package that would dwarf anything we've seen before. It will make the TARP, the bailouts, all the stuff in the past look like a Pikers, like amateur hour. President Trump is seeking a measure with over $1 trillion in spending. Now, the Senate has indicated they are working out the details, hammering out the specifics. There has been a delay earlier today triggered by, are you ready? Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky, the libertarian who is often a contrarian. He is often somebody who is the squeaky wheel. And he has triggered apparently a delay in the negotiations on this. 2 Democrat aides told NBC it may be difficult to get through the second package and a much larger one in a single week. The thinking is that many Americans, millions of Americans would get 2 $1,000 payments. One in the second bill and then in the third bill. The thinking is also that billions of dollars would be allocated towards helping small businesses avoid mass layoffs. Again, this is very fluid. I got lots of questions. I started my day today talking to my pal Mark Davis in Dallas, and Mark was saying, hey, how does this work? How do we start handing checks out like candy to Americans, $1,000 checks, some of whom will need it. As Mark pointed out, there might be somebody who makes, $40,000 a year who's going to be okay. They've got lots of money in the bank, perhaps, or they have a level of income that will continue. They get a check, but maybe somebody who makes 80,000 is like literally flat broke right now and is struggling to figure out how to fill their pantry with groceries. That's a great question, and I don't have any answers for that. It's going to be tricky because, frankly, that the idea of checks being mailed out to millions and millions of Americans to the tune of, I don't know, billions of dollars. Well, that'll get your attention. Yesterday, as you know, we had a caller, Marianne from, I think, Texas. I thought she was from San Antonio, but she may have been Houston. Lance is having a very difficult time tracking her down. We advised her to please get tested. She felt that she had symptoms. She said she had been exposed to people who were positive. She called the show. Now we can't get her. I don't know. I mean, a couple of people texted me saying she was on another show. Maybe she is a troll. I don't know. She didn't sound like a troll. She sounded legitimate, but who knows? And I'm sorry that we're not able to track her down today because I had hoped we would to be able to give you an update. But whether she's real or not, whether she was fictitious and a troll or legitimate, ultimately there are Americans who are saying, listen, I got to feed my family. I got 3 kids. That's what she said. I have 3 kids at home. Yes, I come I have interaction with other people in my job, but I don't want to get tested, she said, because I don't want to be told I'm positive and then have to self quarantine. Who's going to feed my babies? And I do totally understand that. Other breaking news: a 5.7 magnitude earthquake shook Salt Lake City early today, sending spooked residents fleeing their homes. Their power is out. And of course, the city's light rail system grinding to a halt. And finally, the last breaking news: President Trump announced that the United States is temporarily closing our border with Canada to non essential traffic. He did say trade will not be affected, details to follow. So there's a lot to keep up with in this very fluid situation. Again, I'm in my kitchen, so please spare me all the decorating comments. If you're watching the show on our YouTube channel, the Mike Gallagher Show YouTube channel, or going to MikeOnline.com and clicking Watch Mike on TV. I didn't do it. Listen, that green thing over my shoulder on the kitchen counter, that was here when I bought the place last year. So, hey, what do you want from me? I'm a single guy. I don't know about decorating.